I assume this is her way of trying to convince me that her concern is genuine. Would you do this for me? I would be eternally grateful to you. Perhaps people who have my gratitude tend to be well off. Yeah. She has probably made this offer to some of the other servants as well. If she's as smart as she thinks she is, she'd exclude Vincent, and since Kamal is always in the garden, she probably hasn't a chance to talk to him. Not that that'd go well for her even if she did. The rest of them, though, they're fair game. In any case, I know that the information she's really looking for isn't anything that would help her win favor with Lord Sandor. What she doesn't know is that it's in my best interest not to help her. Still, even if I had nothing to lose by giving her information, I wouldn't. I'm not the desperate kid I once was. I'm done doing shady things for a living. It is a generous offer, your ladyship. Then you accept? With all due respect? No. Her good mood vanishes immediately. I imagine I'll pay for it later, but right now it feels good to knock her down a peg. It's much more gratifying than a few extra coins in my pocket. Am I not offering enough to satisfy you? If you want something other than money, name it and I will see what I can do. There is nothing you can offer me that would make me work for you. You see, there is a difference between slaves and servants. I get to choose who I work for. Her face darkens. Despite knowing better, I keep pushing. I suggest you spend a bit more and buy some proper servants to do your spying, so you don't have to resort to something as demeaning as bribing Lord Sandor's. She gets up from her chair and slaps me hard across the face. Oh, snap! Oh, no, 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 no! It stings, but I still can't shake the foolish sense of accomplishment I've gained from getting to her. If you think I will tolerate such rudeness, you are gravely mistaken. She takes me by the arm and pulls me violently towards the door. I imagine we're going straight to Lord Sandor's room, where she can make her complaints. Of course, she'll lie about what was said. This is getting intense. She guides me into the hall where we run into Lord Chiron. With a small smile, he calmly blocks the way to Lord Sandor's room. It looks unintentional, but I have to wonder if this is an attempt to help me. Lord Chiron, if you would kindly get out of the way. Lady Rosalind, I must say that a frown does not suit your face. You look much prettier when you smile. I wonder when was the last time she looked prettier then. I need to speak to Lord Sandor. He's sleeping at the moment. You'll have to wait until later. Unless, of course, you're willing to irritate him by waking him up. Lord Rosalind halts. She's still mad, but Eloy has her attention. She pushes me forward, coming up with a new course of action. This servant has offended me. Lord Sandor must know about this. Ah, I've had some trouble with this one too. He has a bit of a rebellious streak, no? He almost poured wine on me when we first met. Then why hasn't he been fired already? Lord Sandor kind of likes the cheeky ones, I think. That's no excuse for the way this cur has treated me today. Lord Chiron steps past me and places a sympathetic hand on her shoulder. He looks her in the eyes and speaks in an earnest tone. Tell you what, why don't you go get some rest? You've been through enough today. I'll make sure Lord Sandor knows of the injustices you've been forced to tolerate the moment he wakes up. Would that be all right with you? I will not rest until I see this servant punished for what he's done. Lady Rosalind takes a deep breath and miraculously calms down. She still doesn't seem completely satisfied, but she accepts his terms. Very well. I will leave it in your capable hands, Lord Chiron. I will not disappoint you, my lady. He adds a graceful bow to embellish his words. She nods and heads back to her room. Once the door shuts, Lord Chiron turns to me. His friendly expression has been replaced by an uncharacteristically serious one. I have to give credit where credit is due for Lord Chiron. That was very well done. It's not easy standing up to a really horrible woman like that. I might actually be in trouble. Let's go. Go where? To see Lord Sandor. I thought... I lied. He should still be up. We had a little chat a few minutes ago. I bit my lip, nerves starting to set in. If it was going to end with me facing Lord Sandor, I might as well have gone with Lady Rosalind. If you were just going to side with her, then why bother lying to her? I'm not siding with her. You are! You're taking me to Lord's... Oh my gosh, Marcel, don't be so dense. Don't be so dense, Marcel. You are! You're taking me to Lord Sandor and you're going to tell him what she said. How is that not siding with her? Look, it's not like that. I overheard part of your conversation. I know she was trying to pay you off. You are right to refuse her, and I will make sure Lord Sandor knows that. Hopefully that's enough to keep you from being fired. That being said, you are being a smart-a. If Lord Sandor doesn't do anything about it, Lord Rosalind will start some kind of trouble. He should punish me by sending me to the gardens for the rest of the month. I am on your side, Marcel, whether you believe that or not. I believe Lord Chiron. I believe that Lord Chiron's a lot of things, but even he sees how horrible that woman is. I go quiet, regretting my words a bit. Still, it would have been nice if he told her off instead of me. I guess that's not the way the real world works. I know that I do. I don't know. I shouldn't have done it, no matter how good it felt. Oh, no, it's fine. I was fine that you did it. Instead of knocking, Lord Chiron just barges into Lord Sandor's room. Lord Sandor doesn't look particularly pleased with that, but he doesn't comment on it. What are you doing with Marcel? We're getting married, and there's nothing you can do about it. If he wasn't a noble, I'd probably kick him in the shin. I know he's kidding, but that's the absolute last thing I expected him to say. I really thought he was taking this seriously. Lord Sandor rolls his eyes. Haha, very funny. Now really, what is going on? He peed off Lady Rosalind. Marcel, in his defense, she was trying to pay him to spy on you. He said no. He said no. Lord Sandor sighs and turns attention towards me. Are you daft, boy? Surely you know that just accepting the deal would have been much easier. Oh, nice, my awareness. Nice. Of course I know. If I had accepted, I could have still told you about it and then given her false information. I'd have stayed in her good graces as long as she didn't figure it out, and I might have even been able to get some money out of it. But it still would have been wrong. I don't want to be that kind of person. Like, I don't want to be the kind of person. So don't ask me to be. Nice. Although my reputation needs to go up a lot higher than that. I stand defiantly, expecting them to continue to give me a hard time about it. But both Lord Sandor and Lord Chiron go quiet. It seems I managed to bring up something they hadn't thought of. Finally, Lord Sandor speaks. I suppose I can respect that. Still, your desire to do the right thing doesn't make Lady Rosalind any less of an issue. Lord Sandor turns back to Lord Chiron. How mad was she? Very. She definitely wanted you to fire him. Well, I'm not going to do that. You have to do something. I know. Lord Sandor runs a hand through his hair as he thinks. You will apologize. Apologize? Yes, apologize, and it better be the best apology you've ever given. On top of that, your free time will be cut, and all the harder chores will be your responsibility until Rosalind is satisfied. I suggest doing whatever you can do to get on her good side, though that will be much easier said than done. I know you don't want to, but you will do it, and you will not repeat this blunder again, understand? I let out a sigh. He's right, I really don't want to do it. Still, I guess there's no helping it. If this is the alternative to being fired, I need to follow through with it. I understand. Good. I didn't want to watch the apology. Did not want to see that satisfaction. I have some free time, so I head to the garden, wondering if Kamal would be up for some sword practice. However, when I find him, he's sitting at a table and working on a drawing. I imagine he'd make time for me if I asked, but I don't really want to interrupt whatever he's doing. We can practice later. I am curious, though. I'd like to see what he's drawing. I'm about to make my way towards him when an idea strikes me. I don't think he's seen me yet. Maybe I'll do it. I'll try sneaking up on him while he's distracted. I know this could end badly, but if I actually manage to pull it off, it will feed my ego for at least a week. Besides, I believe in Kamal's skills enough to think that even if I did catch him by surprise, he'd confirm who the attacker was before doing too much damage. I take a step towards him, careful not to make any noise. Kamal keeps sketching. So far, so good. Oh, this is such a stupid idea, Marcel. I take another step. Kamal snickers. I stop short. Am I found out? Or is Kamal laughing at something else? I hesitate for a moment. When Kamal doesn't react further, I decide to keep going. I'm close now. Just a little further, and... Hello, Marcel. I groan. You knew the whole time? Kamal turns to me, a wide smile on his face. Yup. Alright, what did I do wrong? Nothing. I'm just too good. That answer doesn't help me in the slightest. No, I suppose it doesn't. Kamal thinks it over for speaking. You assumed I had my guard down, but that wasn't the case. I relax it occasionally, but I never drop it completely. It's become instinct for me. I will admit that I didn't know it was you right away, though. I had to figure out who'd be mischievous enough to try something like that on me. And that could only really be me, huh? Lisha gets up to trouble sometimes, but I've never been her target. Plus, she's on the clumsy side. It's easy to tell when it's her. Okay, but how did you know I wasn't some invader trying to attack you? That bit at the end, when I said your name, I might have attacked you if you didn't reveal that it was really you. So I gave myself up then? Kind of, yes. It's a good thing, though. You got away without injury because of it. Right. For what it's worth, I think you would have been able to sneak up on most people without getting caught. You were deliberate with your footing, and you didn't freak out when I initially tried to startle you. I guess that's what the laugh was about. In other words, you did well. Kamal frowns, thinking something over briefly before adding, a little too well, actually. This isn't the first time you've done something like this, is it? I bit my lip nervously. He's right, sneaking around was how I stole most things as a kid. It seems I have unintentionally given him information that I wanted to keep hidden. If it was anyone else, I might try to lie, but I know that won't work with Kamal. I have to tell the truth and hope Kamal will understand. That's my only real option. No, it isn't the first time. I take a seat across from him, heart pounding nervously in my chest. I don't know what will happen now. Kamal nods. A moment of silence passes between us before Kamal breaks it. It's in the past? Yes. Then let's leave it at that. I blink in surprise. He's letting me go off the hook just like that? Really? Yes. You sure? Kamal smiles. Yes. You didn't try to deny it. I believe you when you say it's in the past. Well, to be honest, I didn't think about lying to you. Well, to be honest, I did think about lying to you. I just didn't think I could get away with it. Kamal chuckles. What's so funny? You didn't have to tell me you thought about lying. Well, no. I blush a bit embarrassed that Kamal is getting so much amusement out of this. Kamal leans back on his chair in a relaxed manner. I don't know what you did in the past, but I'd like to think I know something about the person you are now. You're cynical and you can be stubborn, but those traits don't have to be a bad thing. Beyond that, you're thoughtful, honest, and a little bold. Ultimately, I think you're a good person. Kamal smiles gently. You probably don't think of yourself that way, though. I don't think I'm a bad person, but you're right, I don't think of myself as a good person either. That's part of you being cynical. When did this turn into a personality assessment? Kamal chuckles. Sorry. Thank you, Kamal. For what? For believing in me. It'd be easy not to. I sulk a bit in my chair. I should be relieved that Kamal is dropping the issue entirely, but honestly I'm a bit ashamed. I'm getting away with something that I really should have received some kind of punishment for by now. Kamal stares at me for a moment before speaking up again. I was playing with a few ideas. Huh? Take a look. He turns the picture around so it's facing me. Now that I get a look at it, I see it's the garden, only with several improvements. You're planning on making the garden look like this? Maybe. I'm gonna try out a few more variations before settling on one. He smiles. I'll let you pick if you want. I manage a small smile. This is Kamal's way of trying to cheer me up, isn't it? I can choose, huh? Kamal nods. You know, the one you've already drawn is really nice. You're saying we should just go with this one? If you want. Kamal chuckles. You're being too agreeable. I'll keep drawing so you can make a proper choice. Kamal. I sigh. I want to encourage him, but I have doubts. It's fine if we're just pretending we'll work on this project, but Kamal's the type of person who will actually go and do it. I should at least let him know why I'm hesitant. I know I'm the one that started it, but there is a big difference between adding a few flowers and renovating the garden completely. You don't think I should? No. Kamal leans back in his chair. Why not? I shift uncomfortably. Well, what if you do make the changes and whoever Lord Sander names heir decides to destroy all the work you've done and do their own thing? I know that there is a chance that this will become my garden, and that I would keep whatever changes Kamal made, but I don't want to make assumptions. It's still quite possible Lord Sander won't name me as heir. I don't think it's a good idea to start something like this without being sure that it'd last. Kamal smiles. Oh, I see. Then we'll just have to make it so great that no one wants to tear it down. Kamal, I'm being serious. I know. I'm being serious too. Half serious at least. Even if it's torn down in the end, I'm okay with that. But isn't it better to put time and effort into something that will last longer? Probably. And yet, even though you admit that, you're still going to waste time going to waste time renovating the garden, aren't you? Of course. I roll my eyes and allowed it a sigh. So, what do you say? Want to help? You think I'm going to help you after everything I've said about how pointless all of this is? I do. The annoying thing is that he's right. When he gives me that cocky grin, it feels like a challenge that I can't help but meet, because even though I know it's pointless and ridiculous, I also know that I'll have fun doing it anyway. I turn the drawing back towards Kamal. I'll help you, but only if you can top this one. Fair enough. He pulls out a blank sheet of paper and places it down in front of him. Any suggestions? Let's see, what would look good? I look around the current garden and try to come up with a few ideas. Think less about what would look good and more about what you'd want. What features would make you want to spend your free time here? My first thought is actually Kamal. Aww! I know he's not what normal people would qualify as a feature, but he is the reason I keep coming back here so often. Aww, you had a thought? Oh no, I didn't. There's no way I'm telling him. Oh no, Marcel, you should tell him. I thought you already knew you couldn't get away with lying to me. Should I just tell him? I don't want to. I do. You should, Marcel. Kamal will probably drop it if I tell him I don't want to say it. That'd still be honest. Kamal is looking at me expectantly. I have to decide now. Tell Kamal the truth. I thought about you, okay? Me? Yeah. When you asked what features would make you want to spend my time here, the answer that came to my mind first was you. Not that you're a feature exactly, well, I mostly come here because you're here. Nice. Kamal chuckles. Please don't laugh, I'm already embarrassed enough. Sorry. Your answer does make me happy, though. I shouldn't have told you. Kamal gives him an amused smile, and I regret it even more. Luckily, he drops it and turns the conversation back towards his original question. So returning to the drawing. He twirls the pencil in his hand for a bit as he thinks. How about those flowers you picked out before? It takes me a minute to recall what he's talking about. It's the red ones. It's been a while since we rifled through books looking for flowers we liked. Oh, those star-shaped ones with the black edges and white specks? That's right, I thought it was the red ones. I've forgotten about them, to be honest. They are really neat, though. Then we'll add them. I didn't say we should add them. They were a pain to take care of, remember? I don't know if they'd be worth it. If they make you happy, then they're worth it. I don't know how to respond to that. Kamal smiles smugly. I'll add them now, then. He turns his attention to the blank piece of paper in front of him and starts sketching. This is so sweet, the two of them. You just do whatever you want, don't you? Pretty much. Kamal keeps working on the drawing, asking for more input as he goes. He includes all of my ideas, even the ones I suggested as jokes. There are parts of the garden that turned out decent in the picture, but it mostly looks ridiculous. Somehow I don't see us going with this concept. Oh, here we go again. I'm stuck with Lady Rosalind again. I was hoping I'd never have to deal with her again after giving her that overly obsequious apology. Ooh, obsequious. A few days ago, but it seems that isn't and won't be the case. From my understanding, she even requested me herself, which leads me to believe she'll be ruining my life at regular intervals in the foreseeable future. Still, it's not something I can't handle if I just keep my opinions to myself and avoid antagonizing her further. The shelf over there still looks dusty to me. Clean it again, and do it correctly this time. Yes, Professor Umbridge. Yes, your ladyship. Diligence required 10. Actual value 30. Success. I take my time dusting off the shelf. I imagine she'll ask me to clean it off again, but even so, it's against my personal code to not give it my best effort. When I'm finally done, I step aside to let her inspect it. She runs a finger across the surface and then looks it over in a rather displeased fashion. If it's not to your liking, I can do it again, your ladyship. Her frown deepens, but she doesn't ask me to do it again. She frowns because I succeeded where she thought I would fail. No, it's fine, I suppose. For now, anyway. She's not complaining. I'm surprised. Still, she does seem genuinely upset that I actually did a good job. Lady Rosalind stops hovering over me and takes a seat. She looks around the room, trying to find another task to assign me. She's had me clean every inch of her room several times, and I recently brought her her tea, so she's probably running low on ideas. I don't dare get my hopes up, though. It's very possible she'll prove me more creative than I think. Lady Rosalind irritably taps her fingers on the table a couple times before reaching for the teapot. Instead of asking me, she fills her cup by herself and then brings it to her lips. Then she hesitates. Her eyes brighten and I can tell she has an idea. Which, of course, means trouble for me. Lady Rosalind takes the cup and holds it over the tiled floor, making it very clear that she doesn't intend to drink it. Instead, she deliberately pours it onto the floor. She does it slowly, eyes focus on my face to search for any indication of displeasure. I try to keep my expression blank, but I'm sure she's able to find what she's looking for. If she doesn't, she at least knows it's there. Once the cup is empty, she sets it back on the table and leans back casually in her chair, the curve in her smile more pronounced than before. Oh my, how clumsy of me. My shoulders slump, but I do manage to hold back a sigh. She's been ordering me around all day, but this is the first time she's specifically made a mess. It happens, your ladyship. Yes, I suppose it does. More often as of late, unfortunately. Yes, well, what's done is done. You'll just have to do your job and clean it up. Yes, your ladyship. It's not a hard job or anything, but the fact that it's so needless does grate on my nerves. This is what I get for making her mad, I guess. It's still worth it. I just have to deal with it and tack on a your ladyship to whatever terse answers I'm required to give her. A task that is a bit easier when I pretend each your ladyship is a grave insult. She knows I'm unhappy with her, but as long as I don't overtly say anything rude, she can't go running to Lord Sander with her complaints. I get down on my knees, towel in hand to start dealing with the problem. As I sop up the liquid, she refills her cup and then pours it on me. I grit my teeth, but force myself not to act. I guess I should be grateful that it isn't scathingly hot. It's more embarrassing than harmful, but I don't think she would have cared if it was otherwise. She'd have poured it all the same, and then claimed it was an accident. I refocus on the first task, acting as if she hadn't just doused me in tea. She sighs and then sets her cup down, quite unamused that I've decided to keep myself in check. You really are an eyesore. And yet Lord Sander has chosen to keep you around. She places her foot on the back of my head and presses into it, forcing my head a few inches forward. It doesn't quite reach the floor, but the thread is there. It takes all my willpower not to react. She continues on as if she hasn't done anything wrong, though I suppose in her mind she hasn't. I'm very curious as to why that is. I mean, your work is adequate, I suppose, but it's nothing outstanding. Combined with that horrid mouth of yours, you should have been fired long before I arrived. So what could it be? What could possibly make you interesting enough for Lord Sander to keep? I don't answer. To be honest, I don't think she's even looking for an answer from me. She probably thinks that anything I might say would just be a lie, which, in fairness, it would be. There's no way I'm telling her that Lord Sander is my father. They did a great job. The writers did a fantastic job of making this woman ridiculously, scathingly, so easy to hate. I bite my lip, not liking that I thought that. There are plenty of other reasons for Lord Sander to keep me. I didn't take her bribe. I stood up for him. To top it off, Lord Sander clearly doesn't like Lady Rosalind. He might have thought keeping me around would be a passive way to annoy her. So why did I jump to he's my father? I find that more annoying than anything Lady Rosalind has done to me. He's not my dad, not in any sense, but the biological one. My servants aren't completely useless. They have gathered some scraps of information as small as they may be. For instance, they tell me that Lord Sander has asked for you personally before. He doesn't normally request anyone besides his butler, so this strikes me as odd. They also tell me that you were only hired recently, and in that short amount of time you've been fraternizing with the other servants and Lord Shiran in an unprofessional manner. I have no idea what you're talking about, lady. I haven't done anything unprofessional with any of those people. If my suspicion is correct, you may be more of a thorn in my side than I originally thought. I know I shouldn't ask, but curiosity gets the better of me. I want to know exactly what my so-called fraternizing with others proves to her. And your conclusion, your ladyship? She removes her foot from the back of my head and moves it around to the front of my face. She used it to tilt my head upwards so that we're looking each other in the eyes. That is a really cool, well, not cool as in awesome. That's not cool as in very nice. But, in terms of, a villain antagonizing our protagonist, that's a very cool image. My conclusion, dear boy, is that you are an opportunistic tramp. Someone who, upon hearing that Lord Sander was ill, thought you'd come here and attempt to seduce him into giving up his fortune to you. And if that failed, you figure that maybe you could get something out of another innocent, such as Lord Chiron. If I had been drinking, I would have done a spit take. She means seduce in the literal sense, doesn't she? A chill runs up my spine as my brain vehemently rejects her words in an attempt to spare itself. I am not a whore, and I'm definitely not Lord Sanders' whore. I know she doesn't know that I'm his son, but that is really the easiest conclusion to... Is that really the easiest conclusion to draw? Would others make that same assumption based on these rumors? I didn't want to tell her anything, but I definitely can't let her go on thinking that. That's not it. I would have just, like, not said anything. Do not confirm nor deny. Oh, is that it? Is it? Then again, even if my prediction is correct, it's not as if you'd ever admit it. There was a job opening and I needed a job. That's all there is to it. I didn't know he was sick. He called me into his room and scolded me for messing up his dinner with Lord Chiron. And I'm not fraternizing with anyone in the matter you think I am. Oh, not yet anyway, Marcel. I don't want that kind of relationship. Not with anyone. Yet, Marcel. Ridiculous. It's true. My dad left my mother before I was born. I won't let anyone hurt me the way he hurt her. She looks me over, trying to decide whether my words are honest or not. Most of them are, but I did lie about why I initially came and why Lord Sander called me to his room. It is possible for her to pick up on that. Still, they're both plausible. I'm sticking to the story I previously told her about my arrival, and when I initially went to Lord Sander's room, I really did think that he intended to yell at me. I think Lord Sander is the only one besides me who knows what actually happened, though. That lie should be convincing enough. She takes another minute before giving me her final verdict. I suppose I believe you, not that I care. The lack of a parent would explain some of your deficiencies. The only person Lord Sander has even shown an interest in was a woman anyway. I doubt he'd find a nasty little whelp like you appealing. That does mean I'll have to come up with an alternative theory, though. Yeah, you should have just kept your mouth shut. And, you know, because we don't need her to actually have an actual decent theory. She strokes her chin thoughtfully. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to end this conversation the way I'd originally intended anyway. Just in case you get any ideas. I have a son named Lucius. He's about your age, but he'll always be my baby boy. I want him to have everything he wants in his life. To do that, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that Lord Sander names him heir. If you interfere, I will retaliate. If you do not, well, I suppose we can call it even for the time being. She puts her foot on the ground, finally leaving me alone, and then pours herself another cup of tea. This time she actually drinks it. I guess she said her piece, for now. Go clean yourself up. After that, I don't care what you do. I'd like to be alone for a while, so make sure that I'm not disturbed by you or any of the other lowly servants in Lord Sander's employ. I get to my feet and give her a polite bow. Yes, your ladyship. Enough of that. Be gone with you. I nod and head out the door. This is one request I'm more than happy to obey. I mess with a strand of hair as I head downstairs. The tea dried while she was talking, so my hair is caked together in some spots. I try to comb it out with my fingertips when I run to Dr. Borges. I give him a quick bow. I know I'm not looking my best, but that's no reason not to be polite. Good afternoon, Borges. He smiles kindly. Good afternoon, Marcel. If I'm not being too bold, what happened there? He points to my hair. Oh, Lady Rosalind's tea spilled. On your head? Yes. I keep my answer simple, not really wanting to get into it. Borges frowns, perhaps mulling over exactly how the incident went down. I don't know if he knows a lot about Lady Rosalind's character, but I think he's suspecting foul play. It really was an accident, don't worry about it. If you say so. He lets out a small sigh, not entirely convinced as far as I can tell. Still, he doesn't pursue it further. He's good about that sort of thing. He smiles once more, guiding the conversation to a more light-hearted topic. Well, other than this tea spill incident, have things been going well for you? Things have been going all right. I have no real complaints. How are things with you, Borges? I'm well. Things would be better if I could be more useful to Lord Sander, but it is how it is. On that note, I did want to thank you. Thank me? For what? You're the one who convinced Lord Sander to talk to me about his symptoms, aren't you? More like lectured, but I guess it's essentially the same thing. I did tell him that I thought he should tell you. I didn't think he'd actually listen, though. Well, he did. He brought up several incidents I didn't know about. Voluntarily, too. I was quite surprised. Your words must have more weight with him than you realize. I don't know about that. Either way, the information he's given me will go far in helping me figure out how to treat him. That's good, I guess. I tried to sound different.
It is, so thank you. You have been a big help, Marcel.